morning, traders. I'm Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Monday, February 10th. Green in the Super Bowl. Hopefully we'll see green in the markets today. Go Birds. Markets are coming off a slump to end last week, though, after jobs data reignited concerns of higher rates for longer. The Dow tumbled 444 points, or about 1%. The S&P 500 sank 57 points, or almost 1%. The Nasdaq gave up 268 points, or 1.36%. Watch on tariff talks, more corporate earnings, and the latest on inflation data are on the docket as we head into a new week. So, Bill, let's get into Monday with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, Jess. Good morning, Emily. We're seeing gains. We're up 0.54% this morning. This is climbing higher. That's good to see. Later, what's causing this market move? Well, later today, President Trump is expected to announce 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum products. Okay, you've seen the steel stocks, they're rallying due to that. But Tuesday or Wednesdays is expected to announce what's being called or referred to as reciprocal tariffs on, and this is being done on unnamed countries. Now, there's a lot of talk about, it's going to be Europe, it's going to be European automobile sectors, but I'm not quite sure because, if you look at the countries with the highest trade tariff differentials, these countries like Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam, and India's on that list too. And India's prime minister is said to be on his way to be meeting President Trump this week. He's meeting with him Thursday, and he's supposedly going to have like a bag full of incentives to kind of avoid any tariffs. And Taiwan's, sent people over there to discuss tariffs with Trump on Friday. So I think it could be Asian countries, but don't be surprised if it's both. What else? What else do we have? Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. He's going to be speaking on Capitol Hill on Tuesday and Wednesday. Market. The week ahead, we get a lot of inflation data. We got the CPI data on Wednesday. We get the PPI data on Thursday. We got a lot of corporate earnings coming out tomorrow morning. We got Coca-Cola, Shopify, Marriott Hotels, Humana. What else do we have happening? That budget reconciliation process in Washington, D.C. really remains stalled due to the significant divisions in the Republican Party. The Tea Party guys are not really on board with the Republicans. They're saying no additional. We got to do additional spending cuts before you start spending more money. And that's not what the Trump budget is all about. So it's an issue for him. So, the Republican House Speaker, Mike Johnson, he's got to reach out to the Democrats if he's going to get a deal done. And right now the Democrats are, in a key negotiating position because they can ask for anything in order to get this deal done because he's not going to get a deal done with the Tea Party guys. They're like, no. So, that's going to, that reconciliation process could cause a partial shutdown of the government, but it's not till next month. It's not till March 14th. But we got to keep an eye on it because that is a fluid situation. Now we're taking a look at markets overseas. We're specifically starting off with the DAX this morning. The DAX is up 93 points, or 0.43%. Corporate earnings, potential tariffs are really the key drivers behind the market today. The FTSE's up 57 points, or 0.66%. Oil stocks are trading higher, then we got the CAC in Paris, which is up 57 points, or 0.66%. One of the ECB officials came out and said he could see up to 3 more rate cuts this year. That's another thing that's helping these European stocks move higher this morning. Now we're looking over at Asia. We're taking a look at what's happening in Asia action. Asia was flat to higher. We had the Nikkei. The Nikkei jumped 0.04% or 14 points. It really wasn't that much. Really holding them back was, the Trump's plans for tariffs on steel and aluminum. So that really weighed on the index. Then you had the Hang Seng, which jumped 388 points, or 1.84%. Positive action in tech sector. Shanghai Composite jumped 18.5 points at 0.56%. Telecom stocks showed positive activity as a lot of those Chinese telecom stocks announced integration plans of DeepSeek's open source model into their operations. So that's all positive. Then we're keeping an eye on oil this morning. Oil is trading higher. We got WTI at $72.04 a barrel. You got Brent at $75.69 a barrel. We're talking up about 1.5% this morning. The key factor here is, the increase in sanctions and potential disruptions in production to Russian and Iran oil flows. That's really what's turning oil prices higher this morning. And that's what I have for you in terms of the morning market update report, Emily.
Bill, in that snapshot, we've really heard a little bit of everything to be watching today and throughout the week. Everything from tariff talks, corporate earnings, economic events, inflation data, and comments from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. We'll hear him, as you mentioned, on Capitol Hill. So lots to be watching. And right here on NewsWare, we will be tracking that throughout the week. So day by day, we'll break it down. Speaking of breaking it down, let's start with earnings action today. Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings?
We're talking about Mickey D's, McDonald's, ticker MCD, Michael Charlie David. Now, they missed by 3 cents and they did it on lower revenue, but to look at the stock, it's up 1.59% this morning. So it is kind of positive. I was cautious on a miss here. That's why I couldn't touch it. Also, Monday.com, ticker MNDY, Michael, Nancy, David, Yellow. These guys beat by 29 cents. They did it on higher revenue, and that stock's up. I can't believe it. 24.7% or $63. This is why I couldn't trade the stock. I just was too scared. It was too big of a move that was expected. Rockwell Automation, that's ticker ROK, Richard Oscar Kilo. That stock's up 7.12%. They beat expectations by 25 cents, and they met revenue expectations. So that's positive. On semiconductor, ticker ON, Oscar Nancy, they missed by 2 cents on lower revenue. That stock's down 2.81% this morning. Upcoming tomorrow morning, we got Coca-Cola, ticker KO, Kilo Oscar. Their EPS is 51 cents. Expected move is 2.93%. Shopify, ticker SHOP, their EPS is 44 cents. Expected move is 13.58%. Then you have Marriott International, ticker MAR, Michael Apple Richard. Their EPS is $2.38 with an expected move of 3.98% when they release tomorrow morning.
Bill, that is a lot to be watching. You'll be following that using your NewsWare and your earnings alert. You also have an alert set up for economic events. This is data points, economic reports, but also anything coming out of the Fed officials. And as you mentioned, we do have some stuff to look ahead for this week. We're starting slow here on Monday, but things will pick up on that front throughout the week. So, Bill, give us a preview of what we should expect when it comes to economic events.
Yeah, no big reports out today. I mean, tomorrow the big thing, Powell will be speaking on Capitol Hill as he's going to be giving his monetary policy report. And he's speaking Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, of course, Wednesday you get the CPI data. That's going to be that's a key inflationary report that the market will be paying close attention to. But today, not a whole lot happened on the economic front.
Bill, the other area that you're watching today, as you do every morning, are other pieces of news and information coming out of different sectors and segments. You're looking at things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, other catalyst calls. You're looking at your stocks grouped together, like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. And Bill, on this Monday following the Super Bowl, when many of us are still brushing off the dust, you've got all of this information already broken down because you have your NewsWare. You're able to gather it quickly when you get to your desk on a Monday or any day. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
Just doing a quick data check. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 27 higher. I got 3 lower. Oh, that's nice to see. And then, it won't hold, but I mean, it is a nice start to the day. And then you look at your FANG stocks. They're all trading higher with the exception of Tesla, which is giving back some of its gains. Apple, they're expected to announce a new iPhone later this week. Stock's trading out a little higher this morning. Tesla EV sales in China are said to be falling. That's not helping the stock. And Musk came out and said that he has no plans to buy TikTok's U.S. assets, and he says he doesn't use it. So that stock is down. About 0.8% this morning. In terms of Dow Jones 30 news, Microsoft, OpenAI is readying in-house AI chip designs for fabrication at Taiwan Semiconductor in the first half of 2025. Nike, ticker NKE. Hey, we're seeing stocks about 1% this morning. That they're expecting that Super Bowl ad which was led by WBA's Caitlin Clark to help them, reignite sales in their shoe department. So we'll see if that happens or not. I mean, stock is awfully weak. It's just been getting hammered. It's under $70. It's $69.35 this morning. In terms of merger news, Hyatt Hotels, ticker H, they agreed to acquire Playa Hotels for $13.50 a share. That's a $2.6 billion deal, and it was done on debt. It just shows you that the markets are willing to lend. They're willing to lend, and so there's going to be more of these deals coming out. So Hyatt Hotels doing a deal to acquire Playa Hotels. Elliott Management has built a stake in British oil company BP. Used to be BP Amoco, now it's just BP, British Petroleum. But Elliott, it's causing their stake is causing that shares of BP to move higher this morning. In terms of guidance, Monday.com, ticker MNDY, they see Q1 revenue 274 million to 276 million. Street estimate has it at 273.93. That's an uptick. Rockwell Automation, that's ticker ROC, Richard Oscar Charlie. They backed their full year 2025 adjusted EPS of $8.60 to $9.80. Street estimate has it at $9.26. Okay, in the middle. I'll take it. In terms of shareholders meetings, well, these are real more conferences happening this week. UBS has a financial services conference that's going on this week, and so does Bank of America. So we want to keep an eye on the financial stocks for gains this week. In terms of buyback news, let's talk about Charles Schwab, SCHW. They announced the secondary offering of its common stock. Because why? Because Toronto Dominion Bank is planning to sell, $1.5 billion in stock. So they don't want it to hit the stock, so they're doing a secondary in order to cover that load. So that's otherwise Schwab stock would really probably take even a bigger hit, dive down. In terms of catalyst calls, FND, Frank Nancy David. This is Floor and Decor. Citibank opens up a 30-day positive catalyst watch on the stock this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional NewsWire delivers. It is now that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what do you have for us to start this week?
Going with Shopify, ticker SHOP, Sam Henry, Oscar Paul. Earnings are tomorrow morning. EPS is 44 cents. Expected move is 13.58%. Looking at Friday's call volume, 30,311 versus 24,296. Okay, that's good. And looking at the open interest, 253,000 to 206,000. Positive again. Major brokers do like it. I think the guidance will be okay. Some notes out there about questions on the guidance. I think it's going to be okay. But in terms of an entry point, I got to tell you, I like it at 1940. I like it at 119.40, somewhere around that area. Definitely under 120. But that's my pick of the day. Shopify under 120 at 1940. That's my entry price, Emily.
Shopify is today. We will follow that along with you. And coming up, before we sign off, we will do a check-in on Friday's pick of the day. So stick with us for that recap. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, what do we see here? Brazil plans to levy U.S. tech firms after Trump's steel tariffs. Europe said that they will react within 30 minutes if Trump does tariffs on their auto sector. Donald Trump tells the U.S. Treasury Department to stop minting pennies. NXP Semiconductors to acquire firm Kinara. VRTX earnings out after the bell. Humana's earnings are out tomorrow morning. GlaxoSmithKline Beckham, ticker GSK. They have a PDUFA date on Friday. Interesting. Rivian, RIVN, open sales of commercial vans of all fleet sizes in the U.S. Boeing said on Saturday it's going to do some layoffs in its space launch system, saying they expect to lay off about 400 fewer positions in line with revision. Boeing's trading higher this morning. Bank of America's out there with a positive note on Google construction, on AI monetization benefits for search. That's all I'm seeing this morning.
Okay, Bill, before we dive into another week of trading, let's do that check-in on Friday's pick of the day, which was Taiwan Semiconductor. That's ticker TSM. Now, Bill, you made this pick on Friday ahead of their sales report that was due out today. It did come out, and it looks pretty positive at, first check here. January revenue for the company rose 5.4% on month and 36% on year. So positive numbers coming in here. If we recall back back to Friday, it was an ugly, messy day in the markets. Things really took a dive. TSM sort of slid with everything, but after that report, it is heading back up this morning. So, Bill, how did your call work out?
It's a flat trade. I mean, the fact of the matter is, the stock opened up at $213, and which I was thinking was way too high. I was looking for a price around 209. Well, when it broke 209, I saw the trend was still all red, so I held off. I got in at 208.16, got a small gain, but I did say 209 is an entry price, and the market forces just crushed that stock on Friday. I mean, it was down below like 207. And you look at it this morning, the stock's trading back higher. It's trading above 209 this morning. Why? Because of the report that I mentioned, which is the whole reason for the trade anyways, was because I wanted to get in because of this trade. I was in and out of it twice on Friday. I was thinking about buying some right at the close because I still felt positive on this report. And sure enough, it has bounced. I mean, you look at the stock this morning, it's up like $3 this morning. So, it did. Well, the report did bring me back to where it's a flat trade, so I guess that's okay. But it just didn't work out the way I was hoping. I just didn't think we'd have this huge sell-off that we did on Friday, but it recovered and we're flat. So, no harm done. That's kind of how I look at TSM, Tom, Sam, Mary, Emily.
Given Friday's down market, I will take flat any day. Not so bad. And we'll continue to watch and see if it continues to climb higher. And we will also keep following Shopify today and check in with you tomorrow about that pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning this week at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.